Hello students, in this lecture we are going to discuss about rubber which we use for many purposes in our everyday life. Different kind of rubbers are present and they belong in different category. Starting with first category of rubber, which is natural rubber. You have to remember the two characteristics of this natural rubber. That is, it is very elastic in nature. It is a linear polymer and has low density. Also you have to remember the monomer of this natural rubber. So the monomer of this natural rubber is 2-methyl 1,3-butadiene. Now we will see how to draw a structure of this monomer. The parent compound of this monomer is buta. Buta means what? The presence of 4 carbon atom in that structure. Now you can see the first structure which containing 4 carbon atom in that structure. Now the next is what? Butadiene. Diene means what? The double bond which is present at first position and third position along with methyl group is present at the second position. Now see the second structure where double bond is present at the first position and third position and the methyl group is present at the second position. Now let me complete the hydrogen atom. So our structure will be like this. It is called as 2-methyl 1,3-butadiene and also it is called as isoprene in a chemistry language, which is a monomer of this natural rubber. After this, can I simply say that N isoprene units join together to form a polymer and is known as polyisoprene. Now see how to draw the structure. This is isoprene. In previous slide we see how to draw the structure of isoprene. Now what exactly will happen in this case? The double bond which present get break and they extend it into chain. So the structure you will get, it will be like this. Now you can observe the valence of second and third carbon atom is not completed. So we will put a double bond in between second and third carbon atom. So the final structure will be like this. It is polyisoprene. And also you can say N isoprene units on polymerization, it gives polyisoprene. One another fact you have to remember that natural rubber is also called as cis isomer. Why cis and trans, by the way? This is structure of polyisoprene in which double bond is connected to 2 CH2 group and also it is connected to 1 CH2 group and 1 hydrogen atom. When CH2 groups are present on same side, then we call as cis isomer. And if CH2 groups are present on opposite side, then we call as trans isomer. And also you have to remember that cis isomer of isoprene to form a polyisoprene. I will explain the structure of cis polyisoprene in detail. So the structure will be here. This is polyisoprene. Now I have to arrange this in a cis form. For that purposes, the monomers of isoprenes we have to arrange in such a way so that 2 CH2 will be forced to come in the same side. Now you can see the CH2 groups are present on the same side. We will repeat this with the another monomers of isoprene where we want CH2 to be on the same side. Now you can see the CH2 groups are present on the same side. We will repeat this with another monomers of isoprene. If you don't want to do more, then we will extend here. Now you can see in this structure the CH2 groups are present on the same side and therefore it is called as polyisoprene, but this is in the cis form and also it is called as natural rubber. Now we will see some properties of natural rubber. Natural rubbers are really elastic in nature and also it can be easily stretched out like a spring. How spring we can stretch, similarly this natural rubbers also we can easily stretch out. This natural rubbers has a coil structure because the presence of weak van der Waals force of attraction in their structure. So these are all details about the natural rubber where we learn how the formation of cis polyisoprene takes place. We know some properties of natural rubber. Natural rubber is really elastic in nature. It has coil structure and it can be easily stretched. There are the other certain properties this natural rubber have. Natural rubber is soluble in non-polar solvent. If we talk about non-polar solvent like acetone and chloroform, in which it is easily soluble. If we heat it natural rubber above 335 Kelvin, then it becomes soft. And if we heat it below 283 Kelvin, then it becomes brittle. It means that either it will be soft or either it will be brittle. So to change this particular properties or to bring the little modification in the properties, we do another step is known as vulcanization of rubber. And vulcanization of rubber is invented in 1839 by Charles Goodyear. So you have to remember that whenever or wherever you see the vulcanization, it means that we are doing something with respect to sulfur. So what exactly we are doing? So we changing the natural properties of rubber. So what exactly mean by this vulcanization of rubber? In this case, the raw rubber we are going to heat it with 5% sulfur at 150 degrees Celsius in presence of zinc butyl xanthate. So sulfur will do cross linkage at the side of the double bond. What I want to tell you, let me explain about vulcanization of rubber. So let me first draw the structure of natural rubber, which is also called as polyisoprene. So this is structure of natural rubber. Similarly, let me draw the another structure of natural rubber, so which is also called as polyisoprene. So both these are the structures of natural rubber. So what exactly will happen in this case? Two double bonds try to break and there will be cross linking with the sulfur. Now you can see in this structure, two double bonds try to break and there will be cross linking with the sulfur to form a disulfide linkages or the sulfide linkages in the structure. And because of this cross linking between two different chains, this lead to stiffness in this structure. So rubber will be not very soft, neither it will be very brittle. It can be stiff or produce a three-dimensional vulcanized rubber. So this is all about what is vulcanization, how it is carried out, and what is the use of this vulcanization.